Twitter. We all know and use it. Twitter and tweeting as a form of communication only dates back to 2006, where a team at a company called Odeo was seeking a service that was, quote, so simple you don't even have to think about what you're doing. You just type something and send it. Tweets, a one-way form of text messaging, allow you to follow the activities or musings of anyone you choose. Instead of spending the time and effort to call your friend and ask how their day is going, all you need to do is follow them on Twitter. Twitter's impact is now far beyond following your friend's daily habits. It has played a significant role in delivering and shaping news. Twitter has helped alter the relationship of the candidate, the news media, and the public. It allows a candidate with social media skills to communicate more directly and influence their social media followers, who get their news from an increasing number of polarized news sources. The goal of the Project M paper was to examine Twitter and look at the question, does it promote a progressive and open-minded conversation if it increases polarization in society? Our thesis is that Twitter has increased polarization in politics and replaced productive conversation with the type of cyber warfare. For our research, we conducted an online survey. There were 37 responses. When we asked participants how they identified politically, 64% identified as liberal, 11 as conservative, and the rest as other or moderate. When we asked participants if they use Twitter to discuss politics and social issues, 35% said they use Twitter to discuss politics, and 24% said they sometimes use Twitter to discuss politics. When we asked participants if they thought Twitter was a political platform, 40% said that they don't use it as a political platform, while 80% said that they at least recognize it as a political platform. When we asked participants if they thought that Twitter was an open-minded area for speaking about politics, 45% said that they did not agree. 60% of participants believe that Twitter is a more accurate news source than television. 75% of participants said that they use Twitter more than they watch the news. This says a lot about how media and the way people receive information has changed. The majority of participants believe that Twitter may have affected their political views in some ways. We conducted a Twitter poll. This was interesting because only 10% said that they read an article and research the topic before sharing. About 30% admitted that they don't read a full article before responding. This means that a good amount of people don't care about the consequences of spreading false information. I've seen an article posted on Twitter that either is taken out of context to fit a specific agenda or completely fabricated, shared thousands of times. Once it has been proven to be false, it is difficult to undo damage that has already been done. Societal factors, including normalized shortened attention spans and heightened public displays of anger, have contributed to a culture that lacks critical thinking. Readers are quick to dismiss viewpoints that aren't precisely in alignment with their own. Bret Stephens, a writer for the New York Times, speaks to this phenomenon in his article, Free Speech and the Necessity of Discomfort. Given at the University of Michigan, he states, quote, we cannot be the keepers of what you might call liberal civilization. I'm using the word liberal in a broad philosophical sense, not the narrowly American ideological one. If our readers have illiberal instincts, incurious minds, and short attention spans, and even shorter fuses, end quote. He continues to mention examples where readers even dismissed pieces in alignment with their views because they were confused about the content, having not read the entire piece or not having thought much about it. He stresses the need to create discomfort. He says it fuels desire to reform and educate the public, offering a more encompassing view of a given topic. The lack of thinking in an open and invested way plays a large part in the political polarization on Twitter, from hate slung by and to the president to censorship of others. Alphonse Lopez Tana says, Twitter has gone from a bastion of free speech to a global censor in Business Insider. He goes on to point out the ambiguity of Twitter's algorithms and policies, allowing them to suspend or delete accounts and content for almost any reason they deem fit. There is also the insidious issue where it seems that large quantities of reports of an account or tweets can result in a deletion or suspension. This is based solely on the amount of reports, not due to violating any terms or for inappropriate content. Twitter is also hesitant to restore accounts suspended that have received public rejection. It is essentially the ability to silence a voice one dislikes. The origin of Twitter never forecast the behemoth it became as a platform for opinions and politics. Societal polarization of politics has existed for much of history. The two-party system in place lends itself to stark oppositions in views. Twitter reflects society in a unique way, where the rules and interactions are something we are getting a hold on. In a quick and changing political and electronic environment, the future is unclear, but today we can use our thumbs to toggle through a sea of views and thoughts like no generation before.